Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. Your cards are already laid. I did actually upload the video yesterday, the first one. They're the same cards. I took it down because when I always look back on the readings that I do on YouTube. And when I look back on that one, I didn't like it. I didn't like the way that I'd interpreted that reading. It pissed me off a bit. I just thought, I looked at it and I thought I didn't interpret that just slightly different. So I took it down and decided to just relay the cards, put them back up as the way that they were, but maybe just to put a few modifications in terms of how I'm interpreting the reading. It just seemed a bit clunky to me. I think it might have been a really hot day. I wasn't very well and I just wanted to get all of the work for YouTube out of the way, but that's no way to do a reading. For a general reading for YouTube, time and care should be taken over each reading, and time and care was taking over that. But I remember that particular day, it was very hot, very uncomfortable, very tired, and I don't think my intuition was really on point. So I got rid of that reading. I've relayed the cards again. They're the same. So yeah, you've got your week ahead reading up, okay, that you can look at as well. Right. So the you now position. So you guys, 10 swords. I think you're coming to the end of a cycle. It's probably a very painful one that you've been going through. Now I've pulled 3 clarifiers for each area. I think there was some form of conflict, could be severance in a relationship. 3 of Swords is really a third party situation sometimes. Sometimes this is just conflict, it's causing a lot of hurt with the 3 of Swords. And I think there's been a change from that with the Wheel of Fortune energy, because Wheel of Fortune speaks about changes. And when you get the 3 of Swords, something that says, as sad a card as that card is, I think with the Wheel of Fortune it speaks of a change from that energy here. And this is why I think you're coming out of a painful situation. The root issue for the month for you guys is 9 of Wands. Now, 9 of Wands is a great card. It can be a card about being on your guard, being wary, but it can also be a card that's to tell you that something is actually on its way and it's near. If you get the 9 of Wands and the Magician, it means that something is coming in immediately, and it does, seriously. So, if you get the 9 of Wands and, say, for example, Ace of Pentacles, it's telling you really, hold on, you're at the end of this line here and the money will come quick. Magician, something's going to happen really quickly. This card here says you're at the end of a line. So the root issue for the month is you're at the end of a line. Something is literally completing itself here with this 9 of Wands. But it's based on this, the moon, conflicting feelings, up and down emotions. It could be over a message to do with an offer. So I get and the message card is the Knight of Wands. The offer card would be the Knight of Cups. So I think you're conflicted over a message about some form of an offer here. But that's why I feel that root issue is you might be on your guard with that, yes, but you also might be at the end of a line where you're really on that kind of precipice of making some form of leap to a new cycle or something like that. I do feel that you've come to the end of a cycle here. Sagittarius, 10 of Swords. I think it's been a painful one. There's been some altercation, some fight, could be a divorce, some form of severance here, difficulty with that 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords, but there's changes emerging from that, I feel, with the Wheel of Fortune. The reissue is, you're right at that point now of kind of coming out of a situation here. And I think it's because, or you're on your guard a little bit. The root issue might be that you're a little bit trepidatious, maybe in this case. I think with the moon card, because you're conflicted, maybe there's some fluctuating emotions. I think it might be around a message to do with some form of an offer. This might be to do with the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is about a changing situation here. But I think this change of situation, the reason for that is because of the Lovers. So this could be a relationship. The 9 of Cups is about happiness, but the Queen of Swords is about sometimes we need to cut stuff out. So I feel that you're on your guard here. I think this is more you're on your guard, to be honest with you, with the 9 of Wands. I think there's a situation here. The reason that you're on your guard is because you are confused maybe with this moon card. There is a need to seek your intuition, more clarity over an incoming message with that 9 of Swords, possibly about some form of an offer in a situation here. As a result of that, this would be to do with releasing or walking away from a situation here. And the reason for that is the Lovers and the 9 of Cups. So I think that this is something to do with a relationship, maybe a partnership. Could be that maybe feeling happy to cut something out here with the Queen of Swords. Because the 9 of Swords is feeling happy, but you'd be feeling happy, I think, to cut something out. To sever ties with something. Because the Queen of Swords is a card about cutting out and severing ties. And I think this is what you guys might be a little bit confused about here, to be perfectly honest with you. Because I can see that you're on your guard, and it's because of some fluctuating feelings over an incoming message about an offer. But I feel that as a result of that, what occurs, or this is the distant past coming into the recent past. All these two areas will be sort of distant past, recent past coming into July. I think you're on your guard about doing something here or accepting something, because it's suggesting to me maybe an incoming offer, but you're kind of up and down about it with the moon card, and I think you're on your guard. You're a little bit wary of whatever this offer is. And that's because it would probably require you to leave something behind here. And what is it you're leaving behind? Well, you're leaving a relationship behind that possibly some of you guys, Nine of Cups, were quite happy in with this Nine of Cups. But right now, it requires you to be professional and to make a decision as well. Queen of Swords is a decision card. Your challenge is possibly an agreement here, Three of Pentacles. And why is that? Well, we've got the Hanged Man. You might be hanging on. It could be to an opportunity here, potentially. I don't think it's with a water sign. It might be a water sign with the Queen of Cups. But it also be, I think that some of you guys, the Hanged Man is often that you're holding on. I mean, your obstacle, your challenge is that Three of Pentacles. And this is plans or agreements being made. Could be a third-party situation. So it could be that your challenge is for the month something about an agreement. Well, what's that agreement based on? The Hanged Man. I think the Hanged Man being released. So I think that's something to do with that's been up in the air for quite a while. Maybe with this Fool card. Fool card can speak about a release. So maybe something that's been up in the air being released. Possibly it needs some internal evaluation with that Queen of Cups. Alright, so I think it's something to do with an agreement here. That's your challenge, and I think it's something to do with that there's a situation that's been up in the air for a while and now it's being released, but you're kind of doing a lot of internal evaluation around this with this Queen of Cups energy, which is why in the center of the reading for the month, your focus might be on receiving something here. Six of Pentacles, receiving what is right and what is just, receiving the lion's share. I think it's receiving the majority of something here for some of you Sagittarians. And that's because the Seven of Wands. It could be that you are trying to defend. It could be a breakup of a relationship, or I don't think you're trying to hold on for something. I think you're trying to, with the Seven of Wands, protect yourself more than anything. Against the breakup of a relationship. So for some of you guys, it might be that you want the lion's share of something. It could be because you're trying to protect yourself against the breakup of a relationship, maybe with this Seven of Wands, Tower and the Ten of Cups. Tower and Ten of Cups is usually breakup of a relationship, breakup of a family situation, and the Seven of Wands is a card about defense. The best case scenario for you guys, Sagittarius, in the month of July 2017 will be King of Pentacles. This can show a person around you, Earth sign, but it can also show an improvement in the situation. What's that improvement based on? Well, there are options here, but I think that you're withdrawing because you want to protect yourself. So I feel that the best case scenario really with that Seven of Pentacles, with the King of Pentacles, is taking charge of the situation for yourselves. I see you guys as being this King of Pentacles. Alright, I see you guys, when you get a King of Pentacles, any king is about somebody who takes charge of a matter. This is an earthly matter. This is somebody who's being responsible and pragmatic. So I think that you guys are being awfully responsible. The best case scenario is you guys are standing in your power with this King of Pentacles, being very, very pragmatic, being very intelligent around the situation, and that's because there are options before you here, but I think that you're withdrawing. You're not ready to take any one of those options yet because maybe you're protecting yourself with the Four of Pentacles, and we can kind of see that here as well because you seem to be on your guard about it seems to be that your feelings are up and down. You don't really trust with this Moon card, I feel, an incoming message about an offer that's been made to you, which could involve having to walk away. What are you walking away from? A relationship that was happy, but possibly there's some detachment within the relationship, Queen of Swords. Maybe there's the need to make some decisions based on head rather than heart. Coming into the immediate future, the next few weeks of July, Sagittarius, you'll need to take charge of the situation, the Two of Wands. You'll need to make a decision. You'll need to choose a direction. And that's based on Nine of Pentacles. So this can be based on your own security with the Nine of Pentacles. King of Wands, again, is a card about taking charge, possibly of your resources, what you have. If this is a divorce or anything like that, you're going to need to take charge, make a decision, because it is the reason that you have to make a decision, because you know it's dependent on your security and stability with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is about somebody who's independent, so you're going to need to take charge of maybe the resources here. You've got resources here with the Nine of Pentacles and resources with that Queen of Pentacles. what you'll experience coming in is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands means messages possibly coming in. Those messages could be based on a limiting situation that now has to change in order, maybe with that Ten of Wands, to push through. Okay, so you're going to experience messages, I think, based on a limiting situation. With this Eight of Wands, this is about some form of change, move, that's been difficult, perhaps, with that Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is the difficulty card because it represents burdens. Knight of Wands, and Sagittarius, this is you actually, Knight of Wands. Alright, so it could be that what you'll also experience is the need to be proactive with that Eight of Wands here. Because that proactivity could be because there's been a limitation here. Perhaps you guys are determined to move out of that limitation and push through with the Ten of Wands. Your hopes or fears will be the Seven of Swords. And I think the Seven of Swords is to escape a situation, to avoid a situation, if you look at the Seven of Wands, this is also a card of success because it suggests somebody's getting away with 7 out of 5. So getting the most out of a situation sometimes. And this is based on judgment. So making a judgment, possibly to end a conflicting situation here. So the hopes would be for some of you guys maybe to escape a situation. And that would probably be by making a judgment to end a conflicted situation here, and the outcome for some of you guys in the month of July is an agreement, I feel, with this Six of Cups. Six of Cups is always a good card. I think that this is an agreement, a compromise here, and that's based on justice. It could be justice in terms of a financial matter with that Page of Pentacles that's settled with the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so we'll go through the reading again. Sorry I had to do the reading again, Sagittarius. It's just I didn't like the way that I did. They're exactly the same cards, but I didn't like the way that things were explained in that reading. It didn't make sense to me when I was doing it, really. It kind of made sense, but then I thought, well, I'm up against it, need to get it out. But it wasn't the right thing for me to do. So this is how I did the same cards and just have explained it a different way that makes more sense, I think, to the viewer and also to me. You guys are at the end of a line in July. Ten of Swords doesn't just mean stabs in the back, feeling hurt, betrayal, victimization. It also means the end of a line, end of a painful situation, usually with the Ten of Swords here. That painful situation, it's because of the Five of Swords. There's disagreements here and arguments, possibly to do with many people, third-party situation, or that have been causing a lot of kind of emotional difficulty here. Well, it's about to change with the Wheel of Fortune. Your problem for the month, though, is that you're a bit wary, you're a bit on your guard. Could be because your feelings are up and down with that Moon card. You need more clarity. It looks like it was an incoming offer, possibly to do with a proposal that was offered to you, in which it would see you having to relinquish something or leave something behind here. And what are you leaving behind? Well, you're leaving behind a relationship that was potentially quite happy, with the Nine of Cups, but with the Queen of Swords, I think that you're having to use your logic rather than your heart in the situation. Could also be maybe there's been a Libra that's become quite cold and cut off. Your challenge for the month is the Three of Pentacles. So this is an agreement usually for me. Planning agreements, often with the Three of Pentacles. Well, that's your challenge for the month. I think because with the Hanged Man energy, what's happening here is that there has been a situation that has been placed on hold. I think it's time for a release of that, but you're doing a lot of emotional evaluation. There's something here that you guys, I feel, are finding it difficult to let go of. You're coming to the end of a painful situation, and something is starting to move out, I feel, with this you now position in July, Sagittarius. But for some reason, you're not happy with some form of offer that's come to you on that situation, because it would mean leaving behind a situation that you are still very much in love with, and you don't really want to do that, but you have to be intelligent with that Queen of Swords. Could either be that the situation's around an air sign, maybe, or it could be that you have to be, Sagittarius, quite, you know, intelligent, logical, and not so emotional. I think your challenge is with this Three of Pentacles is some form of an agreement being made here, because this is based on the releasing of something that's been held in suspense for quite a while, and I think it's something that I think you're emotionally invested, but whatever is being held in suspense, I think with the Fool card it releases it. But also I think that the Fool can walk into the Hanged Man, and maybe this is something to do with stalemate. Possibly this is something emotional that you're holding on to as well, because I'm just looking at the Fool. He's not released from the Hanged Man, but he walks into the Hanged Man, so it's walking into a trap. So it could be that the challenge for the month is making agreements. Some of you guys might feel that you're walking into a trap and you need to do some emotional evaluation in that. Or that maybe you're walking into a trap emotionally. Maybe something emotionally, if you invest in this thing, maybe this is going to have you on hold emotionally. So maybe this is something you don't want to do. Something like that. Which is why in the centre of the reading for the month, you're going to be looking to get your fair share, I feel, with the Six of Pentacles. A fair offer with this Six of Pentacles. You want the lion's share of something, I feel here, Sagittarius. And that's because I think you're having to defend yourself. Look out for yourself. This is you on the card after all. Wands, Sagittarius here. Defending yourself against the breakup of a relationship, I would say, with that Ten of Cups here. The immediate future sees you guys needing to take charge here. And I think that's because your resources, Nine of Pentacles often represents the gain, the money that you have, the resources that you hold. I feel with the King of Wands energy, King of Wands is about spiritual awareness, alright? But it's also about being very, very motivated and very kind of passionate. It might be that you're very passionate about the resources. It might be also be that you're keeping a keen eye because you're looking in on your resources here. So you're taking charge. I think that's because you've got resources here, but you're keeping a keen eye, possibly on those resources and how they're handled with that Queen of Pentacles energy. What you'd experience coming in, Sagittarius, will be the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands, I think, is you guys being very proactive here. Because I think there's a limiting situation that you guys are determined to change. Possibly because it's become too much with this Ten of Wands energy. Your hopes will be to escape a situation, the Seven of Swords. And that is by making a judgment that ends possibly some infighting with the Five of Wands. And the outcome for the month is the Six of Cups. I think that there is a compromise, some form of an agreement here. And that's because you have justice. Possibly in the financial situation, Page of Pentacles, or you've got justice in terms of maybe some financial news. Could be maybe with the Ten of Pentacles, something of a settlement or something, because Ten of Pentacles is usually a good card for agreements, settlements, that type of thing. So that's what I'm seeing for your month of July, Sagittarius. I think I might do readings like this from now on, sort of just get all the cards grouped together so we can read through it together. And your advice cards for the month were helpful people. There could be romance, but I think that, no, this was helpful people will bring success and there could be romance, okay? I don't know about the romantic part, but I certainly think that helpful people could bring you some success here. Okay, that's your reading for the month of July, Sagittarius. Take care.